It's time for the Chicago Real Estate Beat here on 1340 WJOL. Here's Ken Houbolt from Houbolt Real Estate, Ray Graylick of Graylick Insurance, Timmy Yanahan, the mortgage man of Caliber Home Loans, Kevin Barry from the Barry Law Group. This is the Chicago Real Estate Beat on 1340 WJOL.
Welcome to another edition of Chicago Real Estate Beat, brought to you by the accounting firm of DeAndre & Associates. This segment is brought to you by our friends at Chicago Title. Guys, we got a great show today coming on there too. We got Joe Logan from Chicago Title will be joining us to talk a little bit of title insurance and what's all entailed with that, and so it's a little bit of insight too. So we welcome Joe being on the show. And then in the third segment, we're going to talk about 8 surprising predictors of housing prices, and I think we're going to have a little bit of fun talking about that too. But before we jump into that, I want to talk about a couple of my listings. First of all, I want to talk about the 2 buildings that I have being sold together in Joliet on Richard Street. A 2-flat and a 4-flat, fully rented, great ROI, $260,000 for both. And I know, Timmy, you could do a residential loan on both of those, right?
Absolutely. We could break them up. We can't do them together, guys, but we could break them up and do it for the same individual owner, individual loans for those 2 properties for you.
Excellent, there too. And also I want to mention the mixed-use building that I have in downtown Lamont. The Stonehouse Pub occupies the bottom 2 floors, and there's a 2,300 square foot 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment that is upstairs, fully rented, excellent ROI. Give me a call on those too. Got a special guest on the show that I want to bring in right now to talk about his house. It's a beautiful home out in Homewood, 1909 Terrace. Dave, welcome to the show.
Hi, Ken.
Hey, Bill. So tell us a little bit about your house. But before we do that, why don't you lived in Evergreen Park before you moved down. Why did you pick Homewood, and specifically that area of Homewood?
Well, we knew the area. We were very familiar with it, and we knew how great the schools were. So at the time, our daughters were in 4th, 6th, and 8th grade, and we took them there to give them the schools.
So I mean, that was a little while ago now, because now you have one that's married off, and you have one that is that's doing well by cooking and doing well, and everything else too. So tell us a little bit about your house and what you did to make it special.
Well, we were faced at one point about 11, 12 years ago with aging parents that needed some help and a place to go. So we put on a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom addition, basically adding 1,100 square feet to the house. So when we did that, we remodeled the whole first floor underneath it as well.
Yeah, it is a great home. 5 bedrooms, three baths. How do you like cutting that grass in that backyard?
That's a bit of a job when the riding mower is down.
Well, you guess just grab a cold one and go for a long walk. So that's all good stuff on there too.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you got Flossmoor Schools, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, recently renovated in the past few years there too. So anything else before we let you go? Do you want to give us a little shout out to?
Nothing other than it's a great house. It's really served us well. A lot of large rooms, space for family. Related living works really well. In-laws can be downstairs. Family can be upstairs. There's a huge, great room on the back of the house that we all gather in virtually every day.
Perfect. Well, there you have it, 1909 Terrace in Homewood. It's with Flossmoor Schools, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, listed at $223,900. If you're interested, give me a call. I'll be happy to give you a custom showing. Dave, thanks for joining us today. I know you got to get back to painting, so have some fun out there.
Good luck, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Well, let's welcome in the crew here. We got Timmy Yanahan,
hello,
the mortgage
everyone.
man from Caliber Home Loans.
How we doing out there, folks?
And then we got Ray Graylick from Graylick Insurance with us.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah. So, guys, like I said earlier, we got a great show today. Joe Logan's going to be on. He'll be joining us talking about title. I want a little special announcement here. September 12th, we're happy to have Pamela McEwen, who is a Chicago Tribune columnist that talks about Chicago real estate, will be joining us. So we really look forward to that. Let's throw it over to Timmy. What do you got for us this week, Timmy?
It's been busy, guys. As you guys all know, we're closing a lot of business this month, and a good majority of it is coming from, we had 4 veterans, we had about 8 police officers, a fireman, some nurses and a teacher, and then just some of the other people. And as you know, near and dear to my heart as a veteran, we take care of our first responders, and our veterans are of the utmost importance. We want to make sure that they're getting the attention they need.
Yeah, I know definitely, Tim, in the last couple of months, you've utilized that program that Caliber has, and to definitely help some of my customers out there. So for me, I thank you very much for helping us out.
Oh, absolutely. Caliber's really in tune with what the customers and the community needs are. And so we do a good job of making sure that we could give these opportunities and options that these people so greatly deserve. I want to give a big shout out, to some of our guys that we were out with at the FOP outing last week. We had a lot of fun with City of Sandwich. Chief of Police Jimmy Bianchi and his buddy Jeremy was out there helping us out, having some fun at the golf course out in Cog Hill for the FOP outing. Also want to give a big shout out to our MAP membership out there for all you guys do. It sometimes gets understated as to what our community responders do for us on a daily basis. We're seeing it down with some of the flooding going down. We'll get into that a little bit in your segment, Ray. But I wanted to also give a big shout out to our Chicagoland Real Estate Network for the Garfield Bridge project, the house we're doing, originally initiated by one of our own CREN members, Joey Messon, our retirement and financial planner, who had a client that was looking to sell their house. They did a mortgage with me back about a year ago to build a house out in New Lenox, and so they needed to sell their place. And so we got our, Joey mentioned CREN, man, Chicagoland Real Estate Network. We got a great group of professionals that are really going after.
If you want to get a hold of anybody in CREN, check out the website, www.cren.biz. That's cren.biz.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had from Joey to Lane Landscaping, and we got Derling's Class Decorating. You went over there and seen him yesterday.
Doing a great job. The house is coming along great, man. So Frank, you're gonna be, when you get over there tomorrow, I know you're gonna be like what you see
Frankie's
over there.
Gonna be happy.
That's awesome.
And then, Kenny of Houbolt is listing now at Houbolt Realty, and then we got Barry Law Group doing the
being the attorney,
being the counselor for it. So it's a great team effort, and it just goes to show that we do have the professionals that could really help people out here.
Exactly. How about you, Ray? What do you got first? I know there's with everything going on in Houston. You got a timely topic.
Yeah, I certainly do, guys. As we've been watching TV the past several days, you listen to and you watch all these rescue efforts and Harvey that came through and just demolished South Texas. And often you see all this and you think if your family was there, God, it just takes your breath away. And I wanted just to think this opportunity to talk a little bit about flood insurance and its little brother, sewer backup coverage, because they're not the same. And I wanted to kind of give everybody more or less maybe a crash course in a short period of time. And I want to bring up an important date, September 30th. It's a very important date because that's when the National Flood Insurance Program is set to expire. So if Congress does not extend the program, it's going to have some lasting effects. The National Realtors Association has estimated that over 40,000 property sales would be jeopardized and over 22,000 communities will be affected if they don't extend the coverage. So there's a Take Action program going on right now, and while I remain very hopeful that they'll extend it, in lieu of what's going on down in South Texas, I just wanted to kind of revert back to this discussion over flood insurance. First of all, FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Association. They are the governmental agency that monitors and regulates the National Flood Insurance Program. And obviously, brokers like myself, we sell the insurance. And I think what people don't understand is, National Flood Insurance Program aims to reduce the impact of flooding on private and public structures. It does so by providing affordable insurance to properties and property owners, and encourages communities to adopt and enforce floodplain management, which is very important. And some people they don't have flood insurance. Sometimes they'll say, hey, why do I need it? And I want to just go through just some brief facts quickly.
Before you jump into that, too, Timmy, does everybody need flood insurance?
Well, that's a great point, Kenny. Yes, you do. Even if you're in a high-rise, you have to have a flood cert. You don't have to have flood insurance. You have to have a flood cert vacation that you are or not in a flood zone for any lending in the state of Illinois. So it is it's very important that you do your homework. I mean, people, I don't blame them. You got a high-rise condo downtown there. Why do I need flood insurance?
Well, you're thinking because you're 20 stories high.
Insurance, you need to have a flood cert, but...
And Ray, before you jump into it, I just wanted to give it an example. There was a house in Payless several years ago that we were trying to buy, and the budget was tight. And I know working with Timmy came across that they need flood insurance, and so that pushed them over their limit, and therefore they weren't able to. So we took a look at between Timmy and I looked at the floodplain map, and in it we realized that only a portion of the driveway was there. Ray was able to help with the insurance and said that they could sign off that they would never claim on it. So they were able to go through that too. So make sure you're working with your professionals. Make sure your insurance, your mortgage person, and your real estate person, and also the attorney can help on this too. Make sure that you're looking at every possible scenario when you're looking at flood insurance. Just
to add to that, when it comes to new construction that's done in a floodplain or a flood zone, a lot of times what a builder will do is they will build the property several inches above the floodplain, and then they get a flood. Yes, they get a certificate, elevation certificate. They can take it out. So say they go 12, 18, 24 inches above the floodplain, they get the elevation certificate by an engineer, and it often reduces greatly the cost of what they're going to pay for flood insurance. And it could also even eliminate the need for it. But I want to talk a little bit about quickly, if I don't have flood insurance, why do I need it? And I think the one fact is remaining very, very proof positive. Floods are the nation's most common and costly natural disasters, and they cause millions of dollars in damage each year. Another factor, homeowners and renters insurance typically does not cover flood insurance. Floods can happen anywhere. More than 20% of flood claims come from properties outside high-risk flood zones, and there are 3 different risk zones that I'll talk about. Another fact, flood insurance can pay regardless of whether or not there's a presidential disaster declaration, which President Trump has already declared in the state of Texas. And I wonder if he'll probably go into Louisiana as well with it. Another fact is most federal disaster assistance comes in the form of low-interest disaster loans from either the U.S. Small Business Administration, and, folks, you have to pay them back. FEMA offers a disaster grant that you don't need to pay back, but often that amount is much less than what you really need to recover from your loss. A claim against your flood insurance, however, often does provide more funds for recovery than those that you would qualify from either FEMA or SBA, and you don't have to pay it back as you're buying the insurance. And lastly, and Tibby touched on this a little bit, Congress has mandated federally regulated or insured lenders to require flood insurance on mortgaged properties that are located in areas of high flooding. But, guys, even if your property's not in a high-risk flood area, your mortgage lender may still require you to have flood insurance like we talked about with the condo situation.
Sure. Well, so there you have it. So let me see what I got out of this segment. I'm busy out selling houses. Ray, you're busy in, helping everybody out with the flood insurance, and Timmy's out golfing all the time. Do I got that pretty much straight?
Well, yeah. You sure do, Kenny.
All right, we're going to take a break right now. Thanks to Chicago Title for sponsoring that segment. You're listening to Chicago Real Estate Beat, brought to you by the accounting firm of DeAndre and Associates on WJOL, Will County's News Talk of Sports. Time is 12:28. We'll be right back.
Houbolt Real Estate is your full-service real estate brokerage firm. Whether you are buying or selling residential or commercial, Houbolt Real Estate can help you obtain your goals. With over 25 years of local expertise, Houbolt Real Estate has the knowledge and expertise to deliver your desired results. Our team has been exceeding the goals of families and companies since 1991. Call today to put the Houbolt Real Estate team to work for you. Call 708-220-7613 or check out HouboltRE.com. Houbolt Real Estate will exceed your expectations.
Graylick Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency representing several companies in auto, home, commercial, and workers' comp insurance. The cornerstone of our agency is our ability to tailor-make policies and provide insurance choices with top-rated insurance companies. The Graylick Insurance Agency is your one-stop resource for all of your insurance needs. We put you first and work within your budget. Contact us today at 773-284-7650, GraylickAgency.com.
Official rules for 1340 WJOL. No purchases necessary. All contestants must be 18 years of age or older to participate, unless specified in contest rules. An individual may win an ongoing contest every 30 days per household from WJOL in Crest Hill. All state, local, and federal and other taxes or other fees for prizes awarded are the sole responsibility of the winner. Prizes valued over $500 will be issued an IRS Form 1099 to report their winnings. All prizes are awarded as is. All entrants and winners agree that the station, Alpha Media LLC, and their affiliates shall have no liability and should be held blameless for any injury, misfortune, or damage to either persons or property insured by entering. participating in, winning, or losing any contest by use or non-use of any prize received. All entrants and winners agree the station may broadcast or publish their name, city of residence, photo, videotape, film, or any other likeness, including their voice, recorded or live, for any reason the station deems necessary, without compensation. The radio station reserves the right to change the rules for any contest at any time without notice, and limit the amount of times an individual may enter a contest or drawing. The radio station will not be held responsible for busy lines, bad connections, disconnections, computer malfunctions, lost, late, or misdirected email, faxes, or any other circumstances. Get a full list of contest rules at WJOL.com.
Caliber Home Loans Incorporated, NMLS 15622, is an equal housing lender and an Illinois residential mortgage license number MB0004043. 1431 Opus Place, Suite 135, Downers Grove, Illinois 60515. Not all customers will qualify. Other restrictions and limitations apply.
This is the Chicago Real Estate Beat on 1340 WJOL.
Welcome back to Chicago Real Estate Beat, brought to you by the accounting firm of DeAndre & Associates. This segment is brought to you by our friends at Caliber Home Loans, along with Ray Gralick, Timmy Yanahan. I'm Ken Houbolt. During this segment, we're happy to bring our good friend Joe Logan in from Chicago Title. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Afternoon, everyone. How are you?
All right,
What's up, Joe?
So before we went to break, I pointed out that I'm busy selling houses. Ray's busy educating the people on flood insurance, and Timmy's out golfing. Now, where did you happen to be at now, Joe?
Another golf outing. Hopefully,
you lucky guys.
Season here.
This one's near and dear to our hearts. Teed up for autism, and Joe, what a great cause to be out there supporting. I personally have a family member with autism, so it's great to see you guys out there supporting a great cause.
Yeah, Keller Williams does a great job. There's probably good 150 golfers out here. Every hole sponsored, and here we're raising some good money for them.
Joe, you guys do a great job of not only supporting the many good charitable causes, but you guys do a great job of supporting our efforts and what we do day-to-day business. So I know a week ago Friday we were all together when our entire network was able to help close Frank Dolman out in Orland Park. So it was great. So thank you for that. I'm going to throw it to Timmy.
Yeah.
He's got a few questions to start you out with, and then Ray will be joining us as well.
So
Yeah, sure.
Joey,
Let me thank you guys. Let me thank you guys first. Appreciate it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Joe. We love having you on, and thank you for all you do for our customers and for our team. So the American dream of buying a home and the role title insurance plays, can you give us a rundown on what that has to do with the title insurance role plays?
Yeah, well, as Chicago Title agent, it's actually a great job because it is and always will be the American dream to buy a home. It's most likely the biggest investment of any individual life, and not to mention that everybody grows a family, and hopefully at the end they can benefit from the equity and enjoy that investment.
Yeah, it's a big time investment for our lives, and as we talk about regularly to our listeners, if you're renting, folks, you're really missing the boat here because now's the time to buy. Rates are still down. There's a lot of programs out there for people that don't think that they could get in, and you could give us a call at Caliber and visit our website, www.cren.biz, for more information. Ray, what do you got for them?
Hey, Joe. Hey, welcome to the show, and thank you very much for being. Yeah, thanks again for being a segment sponsor. Chicago Title is a great company. We love you guys. What would our listeners be looking to and for, and a reason why a licensed real estate attorney is needed at a closing?
Well, there's numerous aspects, and I'm going to fall back on the fact that it's by far more likely going to be the biggest investment you've ever made in your life. Now, you don't want to go to the table without having somebody looking out for your back. And that's exactly where the real estate attorney comes in. They prepare all the documentation, they do all the math, they prorate the taxes, put it all together on one piece of paper, give you that bottom line, and then at that point, they give it to me to hand it off to close the transaction and ensure that buyer of what they're buying.
Well, Joe, in the absence of Kevin Berry here, I know that he often talks about open mortgages and past foreclosure issues and that sort of thing. I know that they're out there, and obviously so are liens and encumbrances. What can you share about that?
Yeah, I mean, title insurance really came into its own in the last 15 to 20 years when, the public was using their house like an ATM and borrowing money and did that nightmare of 2008. So what that did for us is left us a lot of issues on title, unleased mortgages, other mechanical liens, and other things that need to be dealt with. Because as a buyer, you don't want to buy a property that has a lien on the live mortgage out there.
Good stuff,
So
Joe.
that's really my goal, is clearing the title and making sure that the new buyer, when they convey over to them, that they take ownership of that property at the day, and they don't need to worry about what happened in the past.
That's awesome
or
stuff.
in the future, correct, Joe?
Yeah, or in the future, correct.
Good stuff, Joe.
Yeah, anything from the past that could bite you, and believe me, there are things that do. The title insurance policy will protect you from that.
So other services, land trust. Let's talk about that, and then I'd really like to talk about these other tools and products you guys offer as well.
Okay. Yeah, one of the probably a push button issue everywhere right now is privacy and internet privacy. So Chicago Title offers a land trust that will literally protect your individual name. So when there's an asset search, or God forbid there's a divorce proceeding or anything else where they're searching your name, they won't find the property that you own due to the fact that it's owned by the land trust and not the individual name.
That's a great point. And you know what? Another good point would bring is for our first responders, our policemen and some of our attorneys and judges and people that don't want their names out there for fear of maybe some type of retribution out there. So
well said, Timmy. I think it's ideal for teachers, policemen, firemen, judges, attorneys. Anybody can Google a name, do a little bit of a search to find out where people live, the land trust, and the purpose for that is to prevent you from finding the actual address for the person.
Yeah, and you don't have to have those occupations to get a land trust, folks. It's just
No. Anybody can get one. I'm just saying, it's a great point for those people that are in the front lines, especially police, teachers. Just to cover yourself.
So, Joe, if somebody was interested in getting a land trust, would they go directly to you, or should they go to their attorney, or what would be the best way to inquire about this?
Once again, you need a licensed Illinois state attorney to prepare the land trust, and I would reach out to your attorney at that point.
We got one on our site, Berry Law Group, Kevin Berry. Look him up.
Does them all the time.
Yeah, www.cren.biz. Hey, Joe, let's talk about your tools and products that are geared towards the realtor community, because I know you and I have given many presentations to larger groups, smaller groups. Doesn't matter, but what we're trying to do is get the word out of what services they have, there at Chicago Title for this community.
Yeah, one of the apps is not exactly geared towards realtors. It's geared to anybody, everybody. It's called Chicago Title Now. Actually, Title Now. And it's available on iTunes and Android. It's free. So once you download it and register, I give you units. And each one of those units, you can search property. And by punching in the address, you find out the owner's name, when they bought it, what they paid for it, who has the mortgage. If you go deeper into it, it'll give you comparables in the area, schools, parks, hospitals, all kinds of stuff. Great tool. Free on the iTunes and app. And it's very valuable when you need it.
So, Joe, if they go to, if you want to give the listeners your website, if they go there, is there a link there that they can get it from there as well?
Those are, well, I think if it's on the website. I'm not sure, Ken. But it is on iTunes and Android store. It's called Title Now.
Which would be that much easier for our listeners.
Absolutely.
Take us to the finish line, Ray.
Hey, Joe, talk a little bit about conveying ownership. We want both the seller and the buyer to enjoy the process here. So let's finish up with that.
Yeah, so the best thing about my job is I am the finish line. I'm not saying that every transaction is happy and smiling. You know, you do have those difficult transactions, the ones that are a lot of fun. But on the lion's share of the percentage is people that want to be at the table, are ecstatic, and they're going to take ownership of a home. For the seller's point of view, their investment is paying off. They're selling. They're going to take hopefully some equity out of it. They don't take equity out of it. They're going to at least the weight off their shoulder of the home, and then they can walk away and look on to the next transaction.
And I can
From
tell
the buyer's
you, folks,
point of view,
okay,
it is a lifetime transaction. It's a big one, probably the start of a couple, and it's important to get it right. So my job as a whole, guarantee that buyer takes full ownership of it at the table through a warranty deed prepared by an Illinois licensed Illinois attorney. And then I also guarantee them that there's nothing on title that will come back to bite them at a later time. Meaning open mortgages, taxes, all kinds of stuff there.
No workman's liens, nothing like that. Hey, Joe, thanks a lot for joining us. You know, when we get done with the, at a closing, we always like to have a little bit of champagne and, celebrate like we're like babies again, always walking with everybody there. So we really appreciate everything you do for us. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for all you do and supporting the community the way Chicago Title does. Hit them straight, and we'll be talking to you at our next closing within a day or two.
Thank you, guys, and thank you to Krenwin Network.
All right, Joe. Take care.
See you tomorrow, Joey.
He's awesome, and the things that he does for us, without a doubt. I mean, what he did with the hooker file and.
Well, that was a complicated case, and he really
Johnny
saved the day on that one. And what's funny? Everybody takes pictures at these closings, and guess what? A smile on everybody's face.
Yeah, typically that's the way it goes. And you know what? With the ability to go to a person's house for a refinance, I mean, closing at the comfort of your home. And I know we did one last week for us, out in Orland at the Audi dealership. One of their employees there, we had to do a refinance. She couldn't get off work. It was an important time for her to close, that she had to close by this certain date. So we went ahead and got Joe to send out his closer. Closed the loan right there at 9:30, and conversely, her husband wasn't able to be at that because he had to work. So the closer went and met with him later that evening. So I mean, they really do go out of their way to give that utmost customer service and take care of their clients for us.
Yeah, definitely, Timmy. And you got to, another name we always joke around is he's Mr. Yes.
Yeah.
Whenever we call him, yes, I can do that. I think I can do it. Let me find out. There's not too many times that Joe, or anybody from Chicago Title comes back to us and says they can't get the job done.
How many times you want to hear no? Never, right? So he's a good guy.
It helps get the deals done, too. So we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about 8 ways of the surprising predictors of your housing pricing. So that'll be an interesting talk. Thanks to Caliber Home Loans for sponsoring that segment. You're listening to Chicago Real Estate Beat, brought to you by the accounting firm of DeAndre and Associates on WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, and Sports. The time is 12:43. We'll be right back.
Graylick Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency representing several companies in auto, home, commercial, and workers' comp insurance. The cornerstone of our agency is our ability to tailor-make policies and provide insurance choices with top-rated insurance companies. The Graylick Insurance Agency is your one-stop resource for all of your insurance needs. We put you first and work within your budget. Contact us today at 773-284-7650. GraylickAgency.com.
Houbolt Real Estate is your full-service real estate brokerage firm. Whether you are buying or selling residential or commercial, Houbolt Real Estate can help you obtain your goals. With over 25 years of local expertise, Houbolt Real Estate has the knowledge and expertise to deliver your desired results. Our team has been exceeding the goals of families and companies since 1991. Call today to put the Houbolt Real Estate team to work for you. Call 708-220-7613 or check out HouboltRE.com. Houbolt Real Estate will exceed your expectations. Football season is back, and 1340 WJOL is celebrating by giving away a 4-night trip for two to the Royal Suites Turquesa Hotel in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, courtesy of Apple Vacations. But we are going to make you earn that trip. It's WJOL's Pro Football Challenge, where you have a chance to win the all-inclusive vacation, along with $100 gift cards each week to Interstate Batteries of Plainfield. It's simple. Register at WJOL.com. Then pick the pro football games each week. And if you have the most points at the end of the year, it's party time Dominican style. If you have the most points in any week, you'll win $100 to spend at Interstate Batteries at 119th and Route 59 in Plainfield. Interstate Batteries has over 16,000 types of batteries. And if they don't have the one you're looking for, they can make one for you. Car, boat, cordless tools, you name it. Play WJOL's Pro Football Challenge now. Brought to you by Interstate Batteries of Plainfield, Royal Suites Turquesa Hotel, and Apple Vacations. Winner responsible for all taxes and fees.
This is the Chicago Real Estate Beat on 1340 WJOL.
Welcome back to Chicago Real Estate Beat, brought to you by the accounting firm of DeAndre and Associates. This segment is brought to you by the Chicagoland Real Estate Network, which can be found at www.cren.biz. Along with Ray Graylick and Timmy Yanahan, I'm Ken Houbolt. And during this segment, fellas, we always talk about, what are some of the predictors of housing prices. And we all when we're out having lunch or whatnot, we talk about different things too. But I came across an article that I thought was pretty good, and I shared with you guys about 8 surprising predictors of housing prices. Ray, first thing they talk about is gas prices.
Yeah, how about gas prices, folks? I mean, sure feels fantastic to fill up your car for just about $35 when it might be about 50 or 60 not too long ago. But when you're looking to buy a home, the financial benefit of cheap gas might be overrated, because as gas prices fall, home prices inevitably go up, and homes sell faster too. One of the statistics is that for every $1 decrease in gasoline prices, homes increased by $4,000, and for every $1 decrease in gasoline prices, the days on the market decreased by 25 days. And that source comes from Longwood University and Florida Atlantic University.
Good point, Ray. There's too. The next point they talk about, and I think this may change a little bit too with Amazon buying Whole Foods. But what about when you look at if you're buying a house near Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, Tim?
Yeah, so they say here in this article, guys, that Trader Joe's is going to get you usually 5% more on the purchase of on the sale of your home, if you will. So your pricing of the house is going to be up with Trader Joe's being in the vicinity of your home, which, I get it, but the way I look at it is it's a personal preference. But, that's what the studies show, so I'm not going to argue the study. It shows that Trader Joe's is going up at a faster rate, probably about 7% higher than Whole Foods would over the course of a few years, but recently 5% more.
Good stuff, man. I guess, we'll see how that changes with Amazon lowering their prices. I saw bananas were down to 49 cents a pound.
Well, you talk about food deserts and places that in some areas that, they don't have, a Trader Joe's or right, even a chain store. So, you see where houses may depreciate by having these food deserts.
Well, the next point they brought up, and fellas, I don't want no fighting. I don't want no fist going, fisticuffs or anything like that, too, because we're going to talk about sports facilities, not teams, sports facilities. Ray, what do you got?
Well, let's think about it. If you're walking distance to the big game, what a luxury. Think about the properties that are right there on, Wrigleyville area, walking right there to watch a ball game. Even if you're not a big sports fan, it's not a hard sell for people to pay close attention if, hey, this property's right there. And, they say that any one mile closer to a sports facility increases home factors by $793 for each mile. So, again, these are the statistics that were given in this article, but I can clearly tell you that, if you looked at prices in the Wrigleyville area or anywhere near, even by Notre Dame High School or Notre Dame University, there's some homes over there that, they don't look like much, but they are really expensive.
And even where the Sox play.
Well, we're going Sox versus Cubs here. I agree with you, Timmy.
Next one. Let's go in there, too. Well,
I got a shout out for my South Side guys.
That's all right. We'll let it go, too, on there, too. All right, Timmy, next thing we're talking about is marijuana. Does that you get a high price or you get a low price on your house?
Oh, jeez. Here we go, Kenny. Buddy. Bringing all the humor out, Ken. Okay, yeah. So they say the legalization of marijuana was predicted to have a major impact on state tax revenues, with people relocating and taking advantage of its medical benefits, or just because they enjoy a regular toke. Some have suggested that legal pot might also push up real estate values, and impacted two of the states that we see here is Colorado and Washington have the only legalized sale of recreational marijuana. And the fact is, fellas, the buzz has felt more, no pun intended, but that's what the article says, in the real estate market of Colorado. Since the doors opened for regional sales, in 2014, January, housing prices have appreciated 20.4% in Colorado, much higher than the national average of 15.2%. And, over the same period. So it does have an impact. And marijuana sales in Washington were a little bit more modest, but they were still up, 7.3 as opposed to where they were a year prior at 6.5. So it does have an impact in some states. You could argue it for or against. Me and myself, I have no real opinion of it.
Well, I hear that Colorado's becoming a, much more higher, vacation spot. People are going there just to go now. Cause
here we go.
They're getting higher because of there, or because of the mountains they go to.
Right,
maybe they're going there too.
How about both?
Let's talk about temperature change.
Yeah, hey guys, global warming affects not only nature but also our daily lives and housing decisions. The National Association of Realtors looked at home prices and temperature change over the past 4 years and found what seemed to be a negative correlation between temperature increase and house prices. It says that here, out of 82 markets studied, those with the highest gains in housing prices typically had small increases in temperature, up to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. For example, Atlanta, Georgia, the temperature increased by 1 degree while house prices increased 78%.
It's a hot market.
You better believe it, Kenny. But markets where temperature rose more than 3 degrees did not experience significant price gains. And they note here, Little Rock, Arkansas was one of those places.
So that would be cold.
Yeah, you better believe it.
So, we don't think about the winter now, but you think about, even when you look at Florida, their summer is like our winter. People stay in the house. They're not out as much, things like that, too. I know my daughters were down there during the summer, and it was, extremely hot, extremely humid. So.
Well, the snowbirds typically will come back up north, guys. I mean, because they get the best of both worlds in that situation. So what else do we got to talk about?
Number 6 is not only Timmy's favorite movie, but casinos. How does that play when it comes into?
Take it easy. I might take a ditch.
Your house.
So here we go. They're talking casinos and part of Las Vegas. Legendary success stories that casinos brought a wild prosperity to a barren desert area. But in fact, guys, Sin City is America's anomaly. Is just about every way imaginable, not the least of which real estate is appreciating. I know that from personal friends that live there. The truth is casinos across the country, from riverboats to Native American reservations, usually have a negative impact on surrounding homes' values by 2 to 10%, according to various studies. Some of the people in Joliet and in our surrounding area may argue that point, but that's what the study is stating here. One of the cases show that Henderson, Nevada, properties within a mile of the proposed large-scale casino would see their values fall by $9,200. Snake eyes. Yeah.
Well, you got to think too, guys. It's a form of entertainment. So as soon as the economy starts to go down, the first thing they usually go are the entertainment dollars. So that's negatively going to affect the price of your house. So more so than it would is for if you didn't live near a casino.
No doubt about it, Kenny.
Too. All right, highways. Ray, what do you think about the highways? Living closer to it is better, or is it better to live further away from it?
Well, is it a good idea to live close? Maybe yes, maybe no. It just depends on how close we're talking. There's a case study of the Super Precision Freeway US 60, the corridor in Mesa and Gilbert, Arizona, and showed that single-family homes within a half mile of the freeway were adversely impacted. But the negative impacts were more than offset by housing price appreciations in surrounding areas. It says here that the average sales price appreciation for homes within 5 miles of freeway, including the negatively affected properties, was higher than the whole metropolitan area. So while you probably don't want to always buy right by an exit ramp, Easy access to transportation corridors is definitely a strong selling point, especially, if you live near downtown and you work downtown. You got that expressway right there, but boy, you don't want to live on it.
I was thinking the same
Or under it.
there too.
So what they're talking here is, guys, with the highway, if I could put my 2 cents in, I'm not too far from 55. So to get here from Midway Airport area to get out here, it takes me literally 25 minutes. So that's not bad.
No, not at all.
You speed a lot, too. You better not help the law enforcement are listening to this, too. White Cadillac coming down the street. Well, let's get off the highway and let's get on the street and let's talk about what trees mean to property values, Tim.
Well, trees on the street, everyone knows that the stately old growth trees add major charm to a neighborhood. And, they also are indicative of more expensive homes because they're usually seasoned homes and they have a community that's established. But did you know how expensive? Okay, a recent study found out that houses on streets where where trees were all over the place, meaning you have the big, beautiful tree-lined streets. They're $7,100 more than the houses that are treeless that are coming in, with your new communities. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to consider branching out. Now, here's the deal. I would tell you, Beverly communities will be one, and there's numbers of them. I mean, Lincoln Park down in the city. Those communities have those old, beautiful tree-lined streets. I mean, it's really picturesque. If you, Evanston would be another good example.
Tim, I agree with you there, but personally, I can't stand trees. I've got about 4 trees on my property that I've slowly removed because
roots.
As much as they bring, great shade, and there's an advantage to that with your air conditioning costs, but, they're a mess. Like 2-story, you're up there, you're either doing it yourself, you risk falling off a ladder, you got to pay somebody a few $100s to go clean your gutters. They also cause a lot of damage. Sometimes the wind blows the branches around and limbs fall, and, they just, I'm not a big tree guy, but though
You're not a tree hugger?
No, I'm not a tree hugger, so maybe we got to leave this conversation.
Oh, jeez. Hey, try to feel everybody. We're here all week on here, too. So we got a couple minutes to go, but I wanted to talk a little bit about, you often hear us talking about CREN, Chicagoland Real Estate Network, who's a sponsor of this segment. And one of the things that we want to talk about is that if you're buying or selling real estate, we have the team to put it together, whether you need a realtor, insurance man, a
concrete guy. We got it all.
Mortgage guy.
Electrician. We got a financial planner in the mix. We got all-in-one renovations. We got a great network of guys that and gals
Murphy
that really
remodeling. You name it. We got it. And if we don't have it, we can go out and find that for you. So check out our website www.cren.biz.
Folks, I always like to describe the Chicagoland Real Estate Network like a library. You don't have to know where every book is or what's in it, but you do have to know where to find it when you need it. So when you visit the website, www.cren.biz, you're going to find a list of, real estate-related businesses for you, the homeowner in mind. And again, just to go through some of them, we got property tax consultants in there, mortgage guys, obviously, title insurance men, design and rebuild, concrete, HVAC, legal report, handyman repair guys. So, rely on, the network for all your needs because, there's some real reputable businesses there that we would not recommend if they were not first class in what they do.
With just the 4 hosts of the show, we have over 100 years of experience of doing deals, and many of those years have been doing it together for a long time. So, we really look forward to helping you. Give us a call and check out the website, and we'll be happy to help.
Before we go off, folks, I just wanted to just once again talk a little bit about Hurricane Harvey. The Red Cross and particularly the National Association of Realtors have a relief foundation. So, if you can find in your heart to throw some money towards to help these people down there in South Texas, I know the National Association of Realtors Relief Fund is solely 100% of our dollars go toward housing of these people who are displaced because who knows when they're going to get back into their homes.
Folks, they need it.
It's a disaster down there.
Yeah, it's a sad situation down there, folks.
Well, that'll do it for this week. Thanks to our sponsors, Chicago Title, Caliber Home Loans, the Chicagoland Real Estate Network, and the accounting firm of DeAndre and Associates. Check out their new website at plainfieldcpa.com. We'd like to thank our guest, Joe Logan from Chicago Title, and Dave Adamonis talking about his house in Homewood. For Ray Graylick, Timmy Anahan, I'm Ken Houbolt. Thanks for listening to Chicago Real Estate Beat on WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, and Sports. We'll see you next week.